So good morning and welcome back to the channel again. So this is a weather update for next weekend in Dubrovnik, right? So I've looked on the BBC weather and the weather's looking good for when I go out there, and it's also looking good for the Elefiti Islands and sunset cruise the next day. So that'll be great news. So it'll give me the opportunity to do the city walls and to do the cable car in the nice weather, and obviously go on the Caracas and do the cruises, etc., and enjoy that day. But apparently, according to the weather forecast on BBC Weather for Dubrovnik, it's looking thundery from Thursday onwards for at least 3 days, maybe on to Sunday. So I'm looking at perhaps, because I looked at the percentage of when it's going to rain, the chance of rain, and the Friday one is looking more promising for probably Montenegro. So obviously, because I want to do the fort, to be fair, I'd like to get up there at least, or even if it means going halfway, if it gets really bad. If I can get halfway up there and get some video footage of the views, I will be happy, if I don't get all the way to the top. But I have packed my Mac, which is a good job, because I'll obviously take it with me if I know it's going to be chucking it down. But obviously if it's sunshine and showers, I can cope with that, because obviously there's plenty of places to get under cover. So I'm quite happy with that. So I'm looking at Montenegro for Friday, and then possibly Saturday, maybe Korčula and Mostar Sunday, or I can do it the other way around, where I can do Montenegro Friday, Mostar Saturday and Korčula Sunday. I'm not bothered which order. The trips will be done over that weekend. That's the decision I've made. So that from Monday onwards, I can just stay in Dubrovnik and do the museums. If need be, I can go to Korčula Monday and obviously get the other two done Friday, Saturday or Sunday, right? So I can have a day off in between, basically, because like I'm doing the Elefiti Islands Wednesday, so obviously I've said I'm going to have Thursday off to do stuff in Dubrovnik. But obviously if it's a bit thundery, at least there's places to go inside, such as the aquarium, the museums, etc., and obviously the shops. And if the weather's reasonable in the morning, I will obviously go onto the fort, because I'm not going to do the fort on the Tuesday when I get there. It will be done on the Thursday when I activate the pass. But I will obviously go onto the fort with the walls ticket, because I get free entry. And I could also do the Minchetta Tower, which is also indoors, and go behind the walls and do that museum. Again, I'll get in there with the walls ticket, or if not, I can use the pass. And obviously I've got the aquarium and I've got the museums if I can't get over to Lochram Island, which is obviously on my agenda as well. But the cable car will be done in the evening when I get there, for the sunset, and obviously the next day is the Elefiti Islands. So that's the plan, really. So it's basically like do a trip, have a day off, do a trip, have a day off, do a trip, etc. Right? So if I can get Montenegro done Friday, I could have a day off Saturday and do something, and then Sunday do another trip. But I'd like to actually do stuff during the week in Dubrovnik itself. Like get round as many of the museums as possible with the pass, because I've got a week to use it. Obviously get round the museums, because obviously there's the Ethnographic Museum, there's the Natural History Museum, there's the Maritime Museum, there's the monasteries, there's the Rector's Palace, there's that exhibition apparently near the Plocker Gate, the Revelin Fort. There's an exhibition there I can use the pass on. So I want to use the pass in as many museums as I can, even art galleries. Just so I can get indoors if it's really bad weather. And obviously I'll go around the churches and the cathedral, in the old town. So I'll be covering plenty of area, and obviously going on to Lochram Island when I can, doing plenty of footage over there, have a day on the island when the weather's reasonable, which I think from the Monday onwards it's getting better again. But the temperatures very rarely go below 20 degrees, according to weather. I think on Wednesday it's pushing 24 degrees, which is very good. So that'll be nice for the Elefiti Islands cruise. So I will obviously have sun cream and water and, and generally just dress as you would for summer. But I've got my Mac, as I said, so I will make sure that I take that with me. But I'm planning to get Montenegro booked for Friday, and then I'll obviously get the other two done for Saturday, Sunday. So it won't matter to me what the weather's doing, because a lot of the time you're on a bus or in a minibus travelling to the destination, which can take 2 or 3 hours. So it doesn't matter if it's raining because you're inside a vehicle. So it's not really a problem. And again, there's places to get in Korčula. So there's shops and things you can go in, and obviously go indoors to a restaurant for lunch and stuff. And the same in Mostar, there's places to get in. So it's not a problem, and I can take my Mac. I've been to Mostar when it's rained before, which was back in April, and also a couple of years ago when it chucked it down, when I went in May. But obviously I want to get to the waterfalls at Kravic. So I'm going to obviously get those trips booked when I'm out there, but Friday's looking promising for Montenegro, so I'll get that booked when I get there, and obviously get the other trips booked at the same time before I go down to the old town. So that's the latest update on the weather forecast, but I will check it again before I leave, just like I'm going to do with the roads. I'm going to check the route down there, down to Birmingham Airport. Again, it's looking very possible I'll be using the A5 and the M42, so because it's been open all week. Every night I've checked it this week, it's been open, the A5 and the M42. So I'm looking at doing that particular route, because I know it's 45 miles. I know it will take about 1 hour and 10 minutes to get down there. I plan to leave at 2 AM on the morning of travel, and I'll obviously do a video prior to going. So for now, that's the update on the weather and what's coming up next week. So thank you for watching, and good morning.